Ladies and gentlemen, welcome your faces to a new video, and today we are at, you can just see it there, Cineworld. I am here at my local cinema in Newport Spitty, and today is the opening weekend of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. I am going to see this film again in cinemas. Now, I did go recently, like basically last October, November, because they were showing all the Star Wars movies on a Sunday, and I did it with my girlfriend, and so I did see the film, but I saw it in 2D then. It wasn't really an event, obviously. There's a couple of people in the screen, but it wasn't like what's been happening this week, because obviously this is the 20th anniversary, which is mad to say, because I remember going to the cinema to see this, and here we are now 20 years later going to see it again. This time though, like I did last time, if you guys remember, I did a video on the Phantom Menace there, if you want to go back and watch that one on that anniversary. And as I say, today we're doing the 20th anniversary now of Revenge of the Sith, but we're doing it again in 4D. That I, of course, did for the Phantom Menace. So this is going to be a new experience. I paid the £5 upcharge as a Cineworld member for this cinema in Group 1. It was £5 extra for me to go and do a 4D showing, which isn't too bad. It's going to be a totally different experience. You know, the opening scene of this film is one of my favourite opening scenes of any film, not just Star Wars, but the whole battle and, you know, getting into the thing with the little buzz droids on the thing. All of that scene's going to be amazing, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So we're going to get into the cinema now in a bit, and we're going to go into the 4D experience of Revenge of the Sith. I am extremely early to the cinema, literally an hour early, but it's a blue sky day, and this is it. But we're doing this today, the 4D. Yes, so we're here obviously seeing Revenge of the Sith, but why does Revenge of the Sith mean so much to me, just as we go in now to see the film? Well, it is just the whole reveal of Darth Vader being Anakin, for me, was in this movie. This was the movie that I watched that gave me that reveal. I didn't know anything about it before. I watched the films in order of 1, 2, 3, so I had the reveal of Anakin then going into this journey and the whole Lord Vader scene as a kid. And then when I came home, then my dad then showed us the trilogy, of course, the original trilogy from the 70s and 80s, and then I watched them after the fact. So knowing that Luke was the baby was up front for me. I knew that before the whole I am your father thing, and that's how my dad did it. He didn't show us the older movies first, but I think as a kid I would have been 12 when this film came out. So as a kid, for me, I watched them that way round. You know, Jar Jar Binks, I had toys, I had Darth Maul stuff as a kid, especially in 99. I would have been 6 when that came out. So the whole childhood for me growing up, I had a Naboo Starfighter thing, I had the pod racing thing, all toys and stuff and Lego. And yeah, so Star Wars for me was that was my entire childhood. Darth Maul face paint and all that as a kid. And yeah, so the prequels for me were massive growing up. Loved them. My whole cinema experiences, of course, also getting the VHSs for them, and eventually DVDs. So yeah, this film's a massive thing for me, and it's just got such a lot of nostalgia. And whenever I go somewhere, like I did the camping pod or the home cinema pod things, I watch Revenge of the Sith then. Whenever I go somewhere and I get a chance to watch something on a different type of format, then it's Revenge of the Sith. So I arguably say it's my favourite film because it's more of the event of the film than the actual film itself. I know it's not a very good made movie in terms of that, but from the event side of things, the impact it's had on my life, it's up there as my favourite film, definitely. So yeah, so it's really exciting to go and see it in another format. Of course, I've seen it in 3D before, I've seen it in normal, but I've never seen it in 4D. So this is going to be a totally new experience, and one we're going to go and enjoy now. So let's get in there. A couple of seconds in the car then was boiling. Whew. There's a few of the guidelines before we go in. My other half couldn't come today.
Ollie put it down. And Holly. So there's 3 people.
It was right, yeah. So basically, like, Jake and his
Okay, out of the cinema now. Been stuck in a dark room on a lovely day like today is mad, but it's just one of those things. It's just something I have to do because it's the favourite film ever. So, Revenge of the Sith. Well, it is, even now, still watching it 20 years obviously after it come out. You still root for Anakin, don't you? Even though we know obviously that he does fall to the dark side, and that's not a spoiler because this film's been out 20 years. You still hope, and that is what makes this film great. The writing in this film and the connection we have with the character, in other words, Anakin obviously, is, even though the first half an hour, 45 minutes of that film, you're still like, yeah, he's not going to turn. Even though he does, we still believe that he won't, and that's what's so powerful about this film. George Lucas's writing of Anakin is arguably, I think, one of the best characters ever written in film. You know, from his humble beginnings, you know, obviously, to how he turns out who he is, and then obviously later on, and how he redeems himself, so to speak. So it's one of the best written characters ever made, in my opinion, in fiction movie stuff. And this film is a whole ride of it, because you really do believe, even on the 10th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 100th rewatch, you would still think, he's not going to turn, even though he does. And I think it's amazing for that. A really big busy screen as well. A lot of people coming out to see the 20th anniversary, especially in 4D. Pretty good, to be honest, to experience it in a different format. And my opinion with 4D still stands. I think it's amazing when you're in the spaceships and the spaceships are moving and stuff, but it's really jarring when there's a lot of movement and stuff when there's a lightsaber battle. You know, I don't get the same thing. I think with the lightsabers, I think there's too much sudden movement, maybe, in terms of the 4D. And definitely the things in the back, like the kickbacks and the things by your legs, they work, and the bursts, you know, when the lightsaber gets close to someone or just misses. There's some really good stuff there, but I think it's just too, you know, obviously the choreography in the prequels especially, the lightsabers just go mad. And I think I remember feeling the same thing after watching Phantom Menace in 4D. But 4D, you know, it's still great, in my opinion. It's a good format. Got to watch in certain films, but obviously with these re-releases, I always tend to go in 4D because it's a new format. And yeah, I watched this film in 2D in November time, so you know, I'll just go and see it in 4D. But glad I did it, but at the same time, it's not one of the best experiences because of the whole lightsaber thing, and there's a lot of it in this film, of course. So yeah, a really mad thing to think about. Unfortunately, no poster, no popcorn bucket, no cut. The UK didn't get any of the merch. The merch on the screen there is what was advertised, I guess, by Star Wars, and only America got it. I think some countries in Europe had it, but the UK had nothing. Not even poster. I think only Sheffield Cineworld did, because the actual author of the poster, or the illustrator, Matt Ferguson, I think his name is, he was doing a signing in Cineworld Sheffield, and that was the only way to get the poster. So unfortunately not, but maybe there will be some online, obviously, people who have gone to that event, they'll sell them up. So I would like a poster, but I don't think I'd pay mega money for it. And, you know, I'm not one of these people that's interested in getting it signed by Matt Ferguson. It's not like it's signed by Hayden Christensen, is it, you know? But yeah, you know, good to do a re-release, good to do another anniversary thing. 4D experience of Star Wars is amazing. And I just wondered if you have you gone to see Revenge of the Sith this week or this weekend just gone, obviously. At the point of I'm loading this is Wednesday, so there's still some time, if you're watching this in the first couple of days, to probably see the film. It's probably going to be in cinemas Friday till Thursday, if not maybe the week after, just depends. But apparently this is taking a lot of money, so maybe we could see it in theaters next week as well, which would be good. And, you know, if there's nothing on, maybe I'll go. But yeah, so I'm gonna end this video here. Star Wars Revenge of the Sith has been out for 20 years. Of course I gave it a 5-star. I give it a 5-star every time I watch it, and I'm going back in the cinema now to go and see The Accountant too. So if you missed my short on that, go back and watch that. So yes, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon, and of course I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.